Before the Odyssey hits theaters at the end of this week, I'm going through Christopher Nolan's filmography and giving my thoughts on every single one of his films. Today, I'm talking about Interstellar. This is actually a bit of a special one because Interstellar is now the first movie that I have ever reviewed twice on my channel. I reviewed it a couple years back for its 10th anniversary, but that was really just like a very quick 2.5 minute long review giving my extremely brief thoughts on the film. This is going to be much more in-depth, kind of covering a lot more of the film itself. Interstellar is one of Christopher Nolan's most celebrated films, and when you talk about ranking of his movies, this is one that usually finds its way near the top of most lists, and for very good reason. This is a phenomenal film in a filmography as fantastic as Christopher Nolan's. This movie finds a way to stand out amongst most of them in so many ways. This was, up to this point, probably Christopher Nolan's most ambitious film. When this came out, up to this point, this was far and away his longest movie, and it is just a fantastic science fiction story. I love the way that Christopher Nolan sets this movie up, where the actual, like, kind of setting it in the future. He doesn't give us a date, we just can infer that it is sometime in the future, and crops are dying, people are starving, running out of food, and so we need to find a place other than Earth to live. Earth at this point is essentially dying. Once food runs out, oxygen is going to be the next thing to go. And so the premise of this movie, I love the way that Nolan set it up. It feels very real and very believable, and in kind of a scary way. It feels like something that could actually happen, more so than most science fiction films. I think the way that it's grounded in reality is one of the first things that draws me to this film. Cooper is a fantastic character. Matthew McConaughey plays him extremely well. I love his performance in this movie, along with everyone else's, but Matthew McConaughey is my favorite in this movie by far. He just plays so well this character, that his first and foremost priority is his children, getting back to his children and making sure that they are safe and they have a future. And while the idea that spending time away from them and possibly missing out on a lot of their lives is scary to him, living in a future where they are not safe is even scarier, and thus that sends him on his journey. Everything that he does in this film is motivated by completing the mission so he can get home to his family and make sure that they have a safe future. And because Matthew McConaughey plays that so well, and you believe in this premise, you believe in these characters, and we spend a fair amount of time with them before all of the science fiction action starts, we really care about them when things start to go wrong. And thus, when it does, when things do go wrong, when something in the mission goes wrong, or when he's looking over the video messages over 20 years, when he realizes he's missed 20 years of his children's lives, it hits so much harder because you actually care. And yeah, like I just mentioned, the video message scene in this film, it just never fails to hit me. It's probably one of my favorite scenes in Christopher Nolan's entire filmography. Matthew McConaughey's acting is outstanding, and the take that is in the movie is the very first take that they did. Matthew McConaughey didn't want to read the script for the scene. He didn't want to see or know anything about what the video messages actually contained, so that when he watched them for the scene, he was able to give his most real, raw performance. And that's what you see, and he does it phenomenally. Of course, the big thing that you have to talk about with this film is the incredible visuals and score. The visuals are just amazing from beginning to end in this movie. Hoyte van Hoytema, his cinematography was amazing. The way that they were able to do the CGI and the visual effects, everything looks so perfect and so real. Like the amount of effort that they put into it to make it look as realistic as possible shows. It feels like you're really there. You're looking at real images. It's insane the work that they put into it, and it looks stunning. Hans Zimmer's score in this film is, no pun intended, out of this world. It is one of the best scores he has ever made. It is possibly my favorite score of all time. If not, it's one of it. Like, it is in my top 5 favorite scores of all time. It's amazing, and it's tied with Oppenheimer for my favorite score in any Christopher Nolan movie. And I also just love Matt Damon in this film. It's a small part, but it's very effective. The few scenes that he does have are great. The ice planet that he and Matthew McConaughey fight on, the visuals there are absolutely stunning. And like his whole thing of kind of feeling abandoned and kind of going against what Matthew McConaughey is trying to do. I think he makes for a very good kind of antagonist in the third act. My one kind of mixed / negative aspect of this film, it doesn't really take away from me. This is still one of my favorite Christopher Nolan movies, but I think the third act of being revealed that Cooper is Murph's ghost, and he's in the bookshelf and he's looking back on his past self. I think it's a very effective scene. I think the very specific part where he's behind the bookshelf and he's watching his past self walk away and he's screaming for him to stay, don't go. His acting and that particular moment is very effective, and I really love it. But I think the whole idea of it just being this kind of separate like dimension or whatever, I think it just kind of goes a little off the rails. And for me personally, it's not one of Nolan's best third acts. I think it just goes a little bit too far. But like I said, it doesn't really take away from the overall experience for me. I still love this movie. It is one of my favorite movies from Christopher Nolan. What do you think of Interstellar? Let me know down in the comments below. Is it one of your favorites? Where does it rank amongst Christopher Nolan's filmography for you? If you're new here, my name is Jesse. I talk about movies and TV all the time here on my channel, reviews, rankings, that sort of thing. So if you're interested, subscribe so you never miss out on any new content. You can check out my previous Christopher Nolan reviews in the description below. And until my next one, like this video and keep watching movies.